And it's Harkless in at the 4 spot. And for Toronto, Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. Lowry out there with Fred VanVleet. And it's Anunoby in at the small forward. Halfway through the season, Brent, as a team, are you still discovering new ways to win?
Yeah, I would say if you had a set of encyclopedias, when you get to around January, you should be in the MN section, Kevin. So do people know what encyclopedias are? But
I can picture in my mind. I know exactly what you're saying.
So from that point on in the season, you have a great foundation to build on, and there's a lot of things that you can do that are just slight wrinkles to what it is you already do, and that's the great thing for coaches, is to challenge the players to see how far through that encyclopedia we can go. What letter can we get to in the alphabet by the end of the year?
Outside Leonard. Oh, yes, the turnaround.
He just exudes a love of the game, guys. You can see it in everything he does. This guy lives and breathes the game.
Here's Anunoby. Back to Lowry. The pass to VanVleet. Now here's Gasol. Just 5 to shoot. And that's going to be a treble. And here's Beverly. Watch the screen. Passes to Leonard. Siakam pulls it in. And now just over a minute played here in the first. Down low, stolen by George. And now the fast break. George with the ball.
Again, when you go from second to fourth gear, Paul George puts a lot of pressure on the defense that way.
Well, Brent, you look at the explosive numbers George has put up. A lot of it has to do with how he runs the pick and roll.
Incredible at his size and his ability to read the defenses in pick and roll situation. Anytime there's a defender that decides to go under on Paul George from the perimeter, he can let that thing rip from the three-point line. Last year, I think you saw him with the most poise that he's ever played with in his career. I expect that to continue.
The first one falls.
2 years ago, Paul George and his curious travels about where he was going to land in terms of free agency made his way back to Oklahoma City, and a lot of people were wondering why he made that choice. Then a year later, at the behest of Kawhi Leonard, a trade goes down where Paul George ends up back in Los Angeles with the Clippers. You talk about a two-way threat along with Kawhi Leonard. What an unbelievable wing combination the Clippers have with these two.
Lowry feeling it out a bit. Anunoby passes to Gasol. 5 on the clock. Puts it up. Anunoby, good. And with George last year, easily his best season as a pro in every measurable way.
You wonder in the next couple of seasons here, Kevin, if we're going to see the best of Paul George. Again, coming off that gruesome leg injury, him finding his form last year for Oklahoma City. A lot of talk about even Paul George being considered as an MVP candidate, and rightly so. Now back in Los Angeles with Kawhi Leonard. What a terrific duo they have.
Now, here's Siakam. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Pass to Lowry. Siakam against Zubac. Siakam inside. And the rejection by Zubac. Still Raptors ball. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. They get it back. Harkless, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Well, he seems to be in the right place at the right time more often than anybody that's on the court here tonight. We see that pay off.
Well, the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup.
That's good from Harkless.
And thinking back to last postseason, the Clippers did not back down to the Warriors at all.
Well, LA was a much more physical team. I think they knew going in that the only way that they had a shot was to be disruptive, and they brought that on both ends of the floor, and that was going against the healthy Kevin Durant at the time. They took 2 games last year in that series, and the way in which they played, that spirit might have caught the attention of one Paul George and one Kawhi Leonard.
Now George, following the miss by Kyle Lowry from deep. A nice shot by George.
Well, it's the golden age of point guards, and Patrick Beverley trying to show that he belongs amongst them. Great awareness on that play.
The drive by Lowry, and he gets it to go.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Are you asking me, GA? I'm not sure.
Now, here's George. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
Yeah, but there's always this point, Kevin. You got to look at where did he also impact the game. It was on the rebounding end of the floor. A tremendous performance there.
Clippers leading by 5. And Beverley kicks to Harkless. Up top, Zubac, defended by Gasol. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Clock at 6. Leonard, no luck.
Well, a lot of players in the league are going to make that shot, and for him, it's pretty much automatic. It's a good defensive effort to prevent the layup.
Now, here is Lowry. He's coming off a 19-point game against Houston.
And don't forget about his assists. His playmaking was as good or better than his scoring. He was in complete control out there.
What awareness there from Kawhi, waiting for his teammate to break free and then finds him.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Van Vliet kicks to Siakam. Lowry against Beverley. Here's Van Vliet. And the Raptors miss again.
Well, even though he misses that one, the defense has got to talk about that, Kevin. That's a bad miscue, and you can't give up looks like that all game long.
And the rejection by Leonard.
Let this be a reminder, when you're going up for a shot, it's always important to know where Kawhi Leonard may be lurking. One of the more skilled offensive players that is on the floor here tonight, Kevin. Not an easy fella to hold in check.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto. And even though he's been nagged by injury for a few years, Brent, Kawhi is still a top 2A threat when he's healthy.
Well, the fact that Kawhi Leonard could move on from San Antonio, get to that Toronto team that needed just an extra push to do something in the Eastern Conference, especially with the absence of LeBron James. Kawhi Leonard absolutely dominated last year's playoffs and took Toronto to a championship. And now, for the first time, he's had the choice to continue his career somewhere. He's going to do that back home in Los Angeles for the Clippers.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at the Clippers. Here in the early part of the season, they've acquired the 3rd best record in the conference.
Yeah, and I think the Clippers, they haven't needed any time to find their footing this season. The guys gelled right away. The coaching staff has done a terrific job. It's been a dream start to the year for them.
It's been nice to see the early puzzle pieces come together, complement one another, and they've really gotten off to a hot start.
Now here's Van Vliet. Gasol wide open. He fires. And again, Toronto no luck.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well. That'll put Paul George on the line. Kyle Lowry picks one up there. For Los Angeles, they have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3. Powell, he's checked in for Kyle Lowry. Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for the Clippers. That free throw good from George.
Tremendous amount of excitement around the Clippers right now, and why not? Two elite players that can play both sides of the floor. They were already talented and scrappy. You just wonder if this group, with some of the additions and subtractions, can come together in the same way that last year's group showed the type of cohesion that a team that wants to perform at elite levels needs to do.
Here's Van Vliet. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Outside for Gasol. That one's off, still out of sync. And so George will bring it up for Los Angeles. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
And that was a game to forget. You'd like to find some teachable moments, but I think they'd like to just turn the page and move forward.
Yeah, and quick, like as quick as possible. That was a dismal showing,
Timeout.
Especially for them at the offensive end.
And Brent, over the last few years, the Clippers have had to replace true stars.
Pretty amazing with Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, and Blake Griffin not being in Clipper uniforms, how the organization has turned it around in such a short span to have the opportunity that it has in front of them now to go further than what those three guys provided for so many years in Los Angeles.
And doesn't like how things are going right now.
The timeout before the timeout here, maybe just to cut off the momentum and have a chit-chat with the team to settle down.
Free Wi-Fi. Whoa.
The Raptors making a switch here. Ibaka's checked in. And the Clippers making a change here as well. Williams, he's checked in for Maurice Harkless. Raptors trail by 17. Now Van Vliet. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. And that one drops.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
That's one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation.
Now here is George. 11 points in the game.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Here's Van Vliet. Lets a floater go. A wide open look here for Ibaka. Misses, and he wants that one back.
And I was sure that was money on that one, but everyone is afforded an easy miss or two.
Yeah, that happens. Important thing is for players, just don't beat yourself up and make a miss like that cost you another play.
Powell pulls it in.
You're not going to see that very often. The defense in the vicinity, but still, he's not one to blow layups.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's covered closely. Clippers leading by 15. Beverly feeling it out a bit. Pass to Harrell. Over Ibaka. Williams passes to Harrell. And the rejection by Ibaka.
An elite rim protector, Ibaka has the highly desired combination of athleticism and timing.
Deft touch on the alley-oop.
Yeah, nice silky finish on the alley-oop from the stupendous feed.
That sequence couldn't have been executed any better. Now here's Leonard. 17 points for him last game against Milwaukee.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Well, if there were 4 or 5 boxes to check in terms of the game plan tonight, they might have checked 6. I mean, they're doing everything out there.
Powell against Williams. Powell dishes to Ibaka. Great D that time from Harrell. Guys, they have a really solid lead at this point.
Definitely, and they haven't faced much resistance.
Here's Williams. Again, Los Angeles.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Well, if I was baking up a lead, I'd add 2 ingredients. One would be playing smart. The other one, playing selfless. They've done that tonight. Serve it up.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
And the most improved player in the league last season, Pascal Siakam, got better in every statistical category.
And it's those diamond-in-the-rough players that so often elevate the top teams. And, Greg, that's what the Raptors found in Pascal Siakam.
No doubt, the 27th pick back in 2016, now a full-time starter on a rookie contract, just over $2 million this season. He is due for a big raise.
They throw good. Siakam. And some changes here for the Raptors. Andre Hollis-Jefferson, he's checked in for Anunoby. Davis is subbed in for Fred VanVleet. Siakam hits them both. And the Toronto Raptors knew in trading for Kawhi Leonard that he might not stick around, even after his decision returned to his hometown of Los Angeles. Greg, the Raptors have to feel good about the way it all worked out for him.
Kevin, the first championship in franchise history, and now they set about working their way back to the mountaintop. Some talented young players and quality vets, not to mention an outstanding front office. I think it'd be a mistake to count them out.
So it's Toronto now. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Hollis-Jefferson can't hit.
How about the timing he shows there to challenge that shot?
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
Raptors trail by 17. Siakam left side. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. George up top. 13 points in the game.
Well, defender just a little too late in reacting. Gets a piece of Paul George, but a piece, that's not enough.
Outside, Davis. And the pass to Siakam. 6 on the shot clock. Ibaka finds Davis. Rebound by Harrell. Clippers leading by 19 points. We've got 1:13 left to play in the first. Man passes to Harrell. Not going to go that time. And so it's Davis. He'll bring the ball up for the Raptors. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
And that was a tough one. They expected to play well and did, just not well enough.
Categorically, you look at that box score from that last game, and they outplayed their opponent in so many areas. I thought it was going to at least come down to a buzzer beater, but it did not.
Toronto shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night.
And they've shot the ball well this season in terms of their attempts, 81%.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Powell. The Raptors making a switch here. Boucher is checked in. And he makes both free throws. 50 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Powell against Williams. Floats one, and it's blocked by Ibaka. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Passes it to Boucher. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Powell against Williams. Just 5 on the clock. Outside, Davis. There's the three. The Clippers grab the miss. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
And they did win that last game in this matchup. And it seemed they got the benefit of the whistle.
Well, height and length at that position for Paul George, that's problematic for a defender, and he used his size to draw the foul that time.
He is 3 for 3 from the free throw line. And the first one at the line is good.
Yeah, Paul George, not a guy you want to send to the free throw line. Always around 85%, sometimes even up to 90 from the charity stripe.
And both free throws good for Paul George. 6 seconds left to play here in the first. Here's Davis, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. And so it's Los Angeles with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. We'll return shortly. And Serge Ibaka talked about his skill set and how it complements Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam and what he brings to the team.
Bringing my defense toughness, my experience playing with those two guys, one of the best in the game right now, and helping those two here, and with my experience, what I learned, I think I can help the team a lot, energy, and both hands on the floor.
And really, Ibaka is a seasoned veteran now, a terrific role player known for his defense.
And Ibaka knows his role and plays it well.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And quite a position here for the Clippers to be in. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
Yeah, felt like they knew that there were openings in transition and just wanted to keep trying to feed that, get out quick.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at Los Angeles. We've got JaMychal Green. He's out there with Montrezl Harrell. Paul George is out there with Lou Williams, and it's man in at the 2. Here's Ibaka. Good on the three-point shot. Ibaka's got 5 points now this quarter. You know, Brett, we know guys love really jawing at each other. What was your criteria for issuing a double technical for trash talk?
Yeah, in today's game, it's kind of like it could be a whisper
right.
or a wink, the way that they look at it.
It's both sides, doesn't it?
And they just try to curtail anything that could escalate, Kevin. That's really what the referees are doing. As soon as they see some kind of body movement or see guys starting that way, they want to cut it off before anything else happens. So the criteria is a little bit confusing. And sometimes I like to see them getting after a little bit.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kyle Lowry is hard-nosed, as we all know, and if you ask him, it comes from his upbringing in Philadelphia. Lowry said, "A Philly player is what a basketball player is. We played on concrete. You got to be mentally tough. You're not trying to be athletic. You get hit the wrong way, you run into a metal pole." Kevin, that's what made him. From Philly to Villanova to Toronto to an NBA champion.
Well, I don't know about running into the metal pole, but that sounds painful. But he's certainly as tough as he can be. David, thank you. Marcus All's checked in for Toronto. And a switch here also for the Clippers. Harkless is checked in. And it's Lowry penetrating, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
A five-time All-Star, Lowry has come a long way since being drafted 24th overall back in 2006. And the Clippers franchise joined this league in 1970. They've never made it past the conference semifinals.
Yeah, but the last few years, when you talk about the landscape of Los Angeles, the Clippers have had a remarkable run, much better record than the Lakers have had in Tinseltown. And so surprising to think of all the talent that's come through the Clipper doors in prior years, but this could be the year with these additions where they break through.
Free throw drops for Kyle Lowry. And Kyle Lowry drops them both.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
Man, he's guarded by Davis. Man passes to Harkless. Here's Williams. And stolen by Kyle Lowry. A floater. The shot, no good.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And a moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Harrell.
And his scoring numbers have been going in the right direction these past few years. He's gotten better and better at handling what those opposing defenses are throwing his way and finding ways to get his points all over the floor.
And he makes the first. He hits both from the stripe. Quarter two and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Williams against Lowry. Lets the three fly. They get it again. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Clearly a foul.
Toronto shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
2 shots.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
He's off on the second. You know, Brent, we talk about how global the game has become. There's so much talent in the NBA that was born outside of this country. And you think about the great coaches, the Hubie Browns over the years that have gone and had these clinics, Jack Ramsey, spreading the word of basketball that developed these young players we're now seeing in the league.
And we can go down the list of guys like Giannis, Joel Embiid, Jokic in Denver, Gobert in Utah, Luka Doncic in Dallas, along with Porzingis for the season. The one thing that's interesting about all those guys, Kevin, the connective tissue to that is they're not only great players, but the construct of the locker room around those guys being great players, it changes the dynamic of some of the conversations that go on in the locker room. Mm-hmm. Most guys are used to seeing the best player on their team sound like them, be from places that they've been, played in high school All-American tournaments or on collegiate level to get. These guys are coming over from somewhere else, and so it forces a dynamic in the locker room that I think gets really interesting for teams as they move forward.
That's really interesting. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Williams dishes to Harrell. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his third foul of the game.
Yeah, looking up at the scoreboard, guys, that's his third foul, and his coach has to consider now sitting him down.
Here's Harrell. 11 points for him in that last game against Milwaukee.
And his rebounding was solid in that effort as well. He did a lot of work on the glass. All around, it just his effort level was off the charts.
2 on the clock. Man. No good. And Toronto will come the other way. And they're off to Philadelphia after this game as they'll take on the 76ers. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. Here's Hollis Jefferson. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Outside, Davis. Pass to Gasol. And the rejection by Harrell. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
That's his third person, the team's third.
Raptors have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances. Fred VanVleet is checked in for Toronto. And then for Los Angeles, Zubac is checked in for Montrezl Harrell. Leonard comes in for Green, and it's Patrick Beverley in for Williams.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Here's Beverley. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Pass to Zubac. Leonard on the wing. Launches it. Knocks down the 3-ball. Leonard's got 9.
I think it gets overlooked sometimes, but Kawhi can put up some very good numbers from the 3-point line.
VanVleet looking around. Gasol against Zubac. Gasol kicks to VanVleet. Pulls up. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. VanVleet's got his second basket of the game. Clippers leading by 12. Beverley with the ball. Now the pass to Mann. The feed to Harkless. Steps back and fires. Great positioning on the putback. And the Clippers lead by 14.
You know, his positioning near the hoop, always to his advantage. Just a terrific job to tip that one back in.
To the middle, Harkless with the steal. And now the Clippers on the break. Beverley with the ball. And it's Leonard with the jam.
Well, not much you can do to stop that. Leonard showing once again his physical prowess at the 10.
Lowry passes to Hollis Jefferson. Back to Lowry. Now here's VanVleet. 20 points for him last game against Houston.
And guys, in addition to that scoring, he was absolutely tenacious on the defensive end. A complete two-way game for him. Finished with 3 steals, I think, and that was a difference maker.
Pass to Mann. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Beverley against Lowry. Outside for Gasol. And again, no good by Toronto.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
Yeah, he's got to move on, forget about this sequence here, and try to find a way to get on the board.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Pass to VanVleet. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry.
Well, the game's 4 quarters, and after a tough first half, he's found his rhythm in the second.
And only 6 feet tall in shoes, Fred VanVleet's not the biggest, but his toughness great. His toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon. Basketball was the path to something better.
Well, you knew that Kawhi Leonard would be a huge name in the free agency market last summer, especially after winning his second Finals MVP.
And Kawhi let the pieces fall before making his decision. Was the last major free agent to choose where he was going to play. Ended up shaking up the NBA in the process by joining the Clippers.
The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
And so he makes both from the line.
Now, quiet is Kawhi Leonard, but don't let that mistake itself for a lack of competitiveness. He has that desire and drive to continue to get better.
Now, here's Siakam. Had a 24-point outing in their last game against Houston.
Let's just not forget about the work on the glass, Kevin. His effort level was a 10 that night out of 10.
Toronto needs to get off a shot. Anunoby, no good.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
And it's Leonard missing. Raptors trail by 17. Pass to Siakam. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
The Raptors have shot 10 of 11 at the line. Nice work so far for them.
Siakam. Taking 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good. Siakam. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And the contract structure for NBA first-rounders, 2 years guaranteed, 2 years of team options, qualifying offer. Brent, should we consider changing that up?
I think it's working pretty well, Kevin. I think every front office is out there trying to find players out there that are giving you value beyond your contract. And that happens a lot when you're a team that has a first-round pick, 1 through 10, 1 through 20, and you hit on a draft choice. You potentially could get 3 years and sometimes 4 when you have incredible players coming into the league as their first year, changing franchises around. But a player that's providing way more value than the contract that they're getting at that time. So I don't see that changing much. It gives teams a long enough time to evaluate the talent coming in.
Seems to be working.
It does. And the players that prove it are looking at the calendar saying, could I fast forward 3 years? Because I really like to cash in on what I'm doing for you.
Serge Ibaka has checked in for Marc Gasol. George has checked in for the Clippers. Down low. Zubats against Ibaka. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Serge Ibaka picks one up there. The Clippers haven't made a mistake at the line yet. 10 of 10.
2 shots.
The free throw drops for Zubats. So he gets them both.
A big fella with the ability and confidence at the free throw line is something that every team wants. Don't have to make those late substitutions. Keep your big guys on the floor.
Now, here's Siakam. He's a guy that can score, no doubt, averaging over 25 points a game.
Unblockable shot unless they get a bigger man on him. And I'm looking at the roster sheet, Kevin. I don't see anybody bigger.
Here's Beverly. The shot's good. Beverly's got 5 points so far.
The strength from Patrick Beverly is impressive. Takes the punishment. I don't think he minds it one bit and still converts.
Now here's Van Vliet, defended by Beverly. Shot clock at 6. Anunoby passes to Powell. That one, no good. Excellent D there from George. He has a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto, last season Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23. And he has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. And after winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey. Thank you. Here's Beverly. Raptors knocking down the tray, and he comes up with the deuce. Beverly's got 4 this quarter.
Well, the ball on a string right now for P-Bev. Moves like this are pretty creative from the point guard.
Now here's Van Vliet. Defense right on him. Siakam. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. So for the Clippers, Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for Zubats, and it's Green in for Harkless. .137 left in the first half. Here's Siakam. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score.
Things are going south right now. This is not the type of shooting that his teammates expect from him.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Coaching staff probably most proud of the effort of this team on both ends of the floor here tonight.
Now here's Van Vliet. 7 points in the game. Here's Anunoby. He's covered by Leonard. Anunoby passes to Ibaka. The three-pointer, no good.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area. The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Here's Van Vliet, and the rejection by Harrell. They get it back. Here's Ibaka. Goes up again, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And this is where Ibaka is becoming a little more savvy. Just catches the defense off guard. All they can do at that point is foul.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Shooting 2.
No good on that one.
And what's interesting about Ibaka, he's played basketball internationally ever since joining the NBA back in 2008. In fact, he won a silver medal with Spain in 2012.
Davis has checked in for OG Anunoby. And a switch here also for the Clippers. Lou Williams has checked in for Patrick Beverly. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. And it's Williams with the ball for Los Angeles. They've got the Wizards ahead of them. Their next game in Washington. The 7-game road trip continues for them. That'll be game number 3. That's good for George on the assist by Williams. And that's now 24 points for Paul George. And here is Siakam. He has 6. Out left to the wing. Here's Van Vliet. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers holding a 22-point lead as the quarter wraps up. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. The first half mercifully coming to a close. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny's here. Shaq is here. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 24 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. He had a very shaky performance in their last game, but it has not affected him at all tonight. What a tremendous first half he played. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, we're seeing what it looks like when Paul George takes over. Knockdown shooter, that sets up his drive. And on the defensive end, he has the length to defend 1 through 5.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Toronto?
They were brick city and it was painful to watch. Weak shooting starts to get contagious and they were struggling all over the place. They got to work on getting more high-quality chances, more layups, fewer prayers.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. It's been one outstanding game from George.
And guys, we saw just how tough he can be with the step to the rim. Great job of just attacking that first half.
Yeah, nice job of carving his way to the inside with some ease. Not much resistance out there.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Anunoby and Siakam in at the forward slots. Lowry out there with Fred VanVleet. And it's Gasol in at the 5. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Now here is Lowry. And the rejection by Zubac. Now here's Beverly. D right on him. Rejected by Gasol. Leonard against Lowry. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Lowry's got 6.
A veteran guard with a knack for penetrating defenses. Lowry can pretty much get any shot he wants.
Now Leonard. It's rebounded by Gasol.
And that was almost a block. Still did enough to alter the shot.
Yeah, altering the shot just as long as there's a miss. That kind of energy not wasted.
Lob pass to George. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
A good chance to see Paul George burst that time.
A difficult situation for Toronto. Lowry kicks to Anunoby. Lowry against Beverly. Here's Lowry. He's got 6. Clock at 4. From downtown. Rebound by the Clippers. Zubac has got his 6th rebound on the night. Beverly dishes to Leonard. Back to Beverly. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
There's something about Beverly. He seems to be one of the point guards who enjoys the physical contact out there, always looking for something.
It's his first trip to the line.
And, of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Beverly.
Beverly just motivated every night to get out here, to play, to compete. He hustles and wants to make it really tough on anybody that's on the opposing side of things.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
As he enters his mid-30s, Marc Gasol showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, I think he's a better all-around basketball player.
Now, here's Siakam. Back to Lowry. Jacks up a three. It's rebounded by Leonard. Leonard's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And through his first 8 seasons in the NBA, Marc Gasol made a total of 12 three-pointers. Nowadays, Greg, he'll make more than that in a month.
and you ask around, he's always been capable. A great shooting touch. It's just a different job description for big men nowadays.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. He hits the second from the line. Toronto's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Van Vliet up top, defended by George. And the Raptors miss again.
Team starts the second half missing 4 of 5 shots. When does the coach possibly call a timeout and reiterate what he talked about at halftime?
Beverly, the pass to Leonard. Fades and shoots. Unable to get that one. Now Toronto takes it the other way.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. To the inside. It's blocked. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here.
Toronto ball.
On defense, the Clippers. Here's Anunoby. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Count that one from Van Vliet.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
And the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
Now, here's Zubats. Leonard on the wing. It's rebounded by Anunoby. Raptors trail by 19. To the paint. Here's Siakam. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Siakam's got 8 points.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And it's Beverly missing.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
And guys, you'd have to say this run really triggered by their transition offense.
Inside, here's Leonard. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. And that's 19 points for Leonard.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by the Raptors.
Lowry passes to Siakam. And it's blocked. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. And the Raptors with some changes. Boucher is checked in. And it's Rondae Hollis-Jefferson in for Anunoby. Shot clock at 5. Lowry dishes to Gasol. Shoots over Zubats. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Clippers leading by 14. Beverly the pass to Leonard. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So one free throw coming up.
And this is who he has become. Leonard with the great body control takes the hit and still able to sink the shot and one.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
An 85% shooter there and they've been able to count on him hitting his shots from the line.
And the Clippers making a change here. Harrell's checked in. The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard. And here's Lowry. He'll bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. 17-point game. And there's the pass to Gasol. Over Harrell. Again, Toronto.
And through the years, he's become very confident in that shot. Gasol's almost better from mid-range than he is in tight. That's a great weapon for a 7-footer to have.
Here's Leonard. Right block shot. Second shot opportunity. And it's Harrell missing. And the Raptors with possession. They're on a 14-5 run here. Here's Van Vliet. The Clippers grab the miss. Leonard's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Beverly banked in off the glass. Beverly's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Oh, man, this would be a different ball game if they didn't have this type of scoring to rely on.
Beverly against Lowry. Right side Gasol. And stolen by Harrell. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Beverly's got 13.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
To the inside. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell. And just like his brother Powell, Marc Gasol active in humanitarian causes.
I mean, we saw him volunteering on rescue boats in the Mediterranean. Mark doing his part, but also bringing attention to that humanitarian crisis.
First free throw is good.
And you know, when he came into the league, Gasol's weakness was thought to be defense, but now one of the NBA's premier post defenders.
The Raptors making a switch here. Davis is checked in. And then for Los Angeles, Green, he's checked in for Maurice Harkless. Lou Williams is subbed in for Patrick Beverly. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. So it's the Clippers now. Outside Leonard. And he banks in the layup. Leonard's got 24.
Really, with that level of speed and power, it is so difficult to keep Leonard from scoring on the drive.
Davis looking for an opening. A shot by Lowry. Wide open. Good on the triple. He's got 9.
In perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Maybe trying to find a little bit more space and ball movement to get guys open at the three-point line.
Now here's Leonard. 24 points for him. He kicks it to Williams. 6 to shoot. From deep. Offensive rebound. Green. And it's Green with the jam.
And, you know, it's one thing to get the offensive rebound, but then how about the loud bucket he's able to convert?
He was in perfect position under the hoop, Greg. You're right. Once he gets his hands on the miss. Here's Lowry. He's got 9. Right wing. Gasol's in the post. He's defended by Harrell. And the rejection by Harrell.
Well, his poor shooting is a big reason that they're staring at this deficit right now. He needs to get on track if they're going to find a way to win.
Now here's Harrell. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Leonard finds Williams. The Clippers need to get off a shot from deep. Green. Rebound by the Raptors. Outside, Davis. At the elbow, it's Gasol. Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. Davis against Williams. Right side Lowry. Over Green. Green with the block. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Toronto. Norman Powell comes in for Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Los Angeles leading by 18. Williams looking around. To the left side wing. Pass to Mann. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Williams. Here's Harrell, and Harrell slams it in.
When the shot's going up, it's fun to watch the way that Montrezl Harrell will attack a rebound, crucial to this offense and his production.
Here's Lowry. The teardrop falls in. Lowry's got 7 points for the quarter.
And he was sitting back a little bit there in the first half, but feels like showtime now, and he's ready to put some major points up on the board.
Pass to Leonard. Fader on the way. It's good. Leonard's got 9 points now in just the second half.
You know, what a game by Leonard, but you wouldn't know it by the way he's reacting out there. Just stone-faced, but getting the job done.
Here's Lowry. Softly drops in the floater. Lowry's got 13 points.
Oh, such a field shot there, the floater.
There's the pass to Williams. Good work defensively by Lowry. Raptors trail by 18. In the corner, Powell with it. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got 3 assists now in this one.
Well, any possession that ends in a shot from that range after a good player and ball movement, that's a good one.
Here's Mann. That shot is off. Gasol with the defensive effort. And it's Lowry with the ball. Brings it up for the Raptors. Leonard with the steal. And now the Clippers on the break. An easy 2 points on the layup. Leonard's got 28 points for the game.
Just a lightning bolt there in transition. No one can match up with Kawhi, especially at his position. That time they pay the price.
And Toronto turns it over again.
And this is like another case of Murphy's Law right now, and it's been their own doing, really, just like we saw there.
The Raptors making a switch here. Siakam's checked in, and Los Angeles making a change here as well. George is checked in. Siakam against Williams. Green bounce pass. Here's Harrell. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
That's his second personal foul.
Think about Montrezl Harrell and the type of energy and effort that he brought last year to this team to help solidify, I guess, most of the culture piece of what Steve Ballmer wants this franchise to be about. That's playing hard, playing with energy, and having some enthusiasm for the competition. Montrezl Harrell wraps all those things up pretty nicely in the way he plays.
2 shots.
That one is off.
The compliment that Harrell gets often is the fact that he's just so tireless a worker, and that energy is something that both coaching staffs and teammates appreciate.
And he's good on the second. 59 seconds left in the third. Davis against George. It's Davis with the drive. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Williams passes to Harrell. A beautiful reverse layup. Harrell's got 5.
He gets really excited about finishing through contact, Kevin.
Passes to Powell. Back to Lowry. Back to Powell. It's rebounded by Leonard.
I think he rushed that one just a little bit, thinking the defense was going to get close. They weren't.
Williams finds George. Back to Williams. Nailed from three-point land. Williams has got his second bucket of the game to go.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a pass available there for Paul George, but he spots that small crease, he fires the ball through it, and he gets it to his open man.
Kawhi Leonard has been on display for the LA Clippers. A grand total of 28 points for him in the game now. They have no answer for him defensively. Back to the action after this word. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
You know, coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, Kawhi Leonard is out there with JaMychal Green. Then there's Harrell. Then it's Williams. And it's George in at the 2 spot. If you were commissioner, Brent, of the NBA, would you add or alter any rules right now?
Wow. First of all, I think you get to fly on a really nice plane wherever you're going, and you get to go to any game you want to.
Yeah.
So sign me up
with
for that
courtside
job.
seats, by the way, too.
Add or alter any NBA rules. I think the game is in a pretty good place right now, Kevin. And there's not much that I think is out there for us to change.
It seems like All-Star Weekend and the length of the season seems to be two pretty prominent things that continually come up.
Yeah, and as far as the question, I guess my head was going to things that are on the floor.
I was thinking that too, but I couldn't think of anything that really...
On the floor, it's tough to figure out something that could be adjusted, and I know Adam Silver and David Stern before him, all of their concern mostly is about the optics of the game.
Yes.
And right now, it's in a pretty good spot.
It's very pleasing to watch, there's no doubt. Off the inbound pass, and Siakam throws it down. Clippers leading by 22. Williams kicks to Green. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Siakam. And to have someone, Brent, with the size and the strength of Green play with the energy he does, it's a huge boost to any team.
Yeah, lots of talk last year about JaMychal Green really stepping into his own, starting to really own what it is he can do to impact any given game. He's a bit of a journeyman, has traveled around a little bit between San Antonio and Memphis, but his role with the Clippers last year really put him in a nice spot for him to show off his skill set.
Free throw good, Green. A lot of missing stats from the 60s and 70s, but if we could go back and look at those actual numbers, any players you think would really be catching our eye in terms of, wow, I didn't know that guy was that good, or he's better than I thought he was?
Well, don't we always look at the incredible, mind-boggling numbers of Wilt Chamberlain
yes,
and think, what was that guy doing?
Yeah.
And we don't even have half of it.
No.
So Wilt Chamberlain comes to mind first. What I think about, Kevin, when that question comes up is how many great players through the 70s and also really through the 80s, because the three-point line wasn't accentuated enough, missed the opportunity to be even greater scorers. I mean, Jerry West with a three-point line. And
Can you imagine that?
You got to be kidding me. So there's a lot of gap of those players, too, that also because of changes in rules and because the three-point line wasn't in, that we would be talking about in terms of nostalgia and their accomplishments with a much different voice.
Even someone as recent as Jordan, with the rules the way they are now.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
With the openness of the floor and what Michael could do, as if he wanted to prove he could do more.
Exactly.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Well, I thought they played smart, and then all of a sudden it was maybe a little too flashy there, and that's unfortunate.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
That is all timing right there. Just led him perfectly.
Fred VanVleet is checked in for Toronto. Maurice Harkless is checked in for the Clippers. Brent, a lot of teams will be paying that luxury tax, and that is a tough thing for a lot of owners to swallow. Is this the best method to deter teams from going over the cap and overspending and outspending smaller markets?
You're hitting the nail on the head, Kevin, because there are some teams, as much as you said it's tough for some teams to swallow, there are other teams that never see that pill.
Right.
And they're willing to go as far as they need to go in order to put a championship team on the floor. It seems to be working, but the question you had for me, was it a deterrent right now? I don't know if it's as significant as it needs to be. We know the repeater tax certainly hurts some teams, but there are still teams that are willing to spend, Kevin. That's really tough on small market teams who want to avoid that at all costs.
Just 4 to shoot. Here's Siakam. And again, Toronto, no luck. And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. And Williams gets it to go on the assist by George. George has got his 4th assist in this one. The Raptors have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the 4th quarter. Siakam passes to Ibaka. Drops in the layup for 2.
Yeah, high percentage look there for Ibaka. He can be automatic in there when given room.
Left side, George. A second chance effort, and he sinks the layup. George has got 28.
And a better box out saves them 2 points there.
It didn't seem like anybody was really aware there to go and collect that rebound in the possession.
Now here's VanVleet. The rebound by Paul George. George has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Of course, Dirk Nowitzki spent his whole career with the Dallas Mavericks. We don't see that much anymore, do we? From the beginning to the end with one team.
No, but I think we're going to still occasionally have anomalies like we did with Reggie being in Indiana for the years of his playing career. Nate McMillan was in Seattle for his playing career, now coach of the Indiana Pacers. So there will be times where we'll have that once or twice. It's not going to happen very much, Kevin.
Not in today's
Not in
NBA.
today's game, and not with what's at stake.
Here is Williams, following the score by Serge Ibaka. High, arcing shot, outside for George. Second chance shot. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Anunoby's got rebound number 5 here tonight. VanVleet with it. Ibaka outside. Misses the 3. Los Angeles leading by 23. In the corner, George with it. George double teamed. To the middle. That's tipped. And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Los Angeles Clippers. On Sunday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards. And then on Monday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers.
You know, it might sound cliche, but a road trip like this one is a great time for this team to build chemistry on and off the court. Chemistry absolutely matters in the NBA, and these are the kinds of opportunities teams need to build it.
Here's Beverly, following the basket by Pascal Siakam. And Brent, as you know, there aren't many players that can set a tone for a team, but Patrick Beverly is one of them.
And Patrick Beverly always embraces that role about setting the tone defensively on an opposing team's point guard, making sure that tonight, if you're going to beat the team that Pat Beverly plays on, you're going to have to go through them.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good.
Yeah, sometimes in a game you settle a little bit before settling in, and right now I think he's a big factor in how they're getting to the line.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Gasol comes in for Serge Ibaka, and Kyle Lowry subbed in for Norman Powell. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Los Angeles. And the second free throw, good. Brent, when we talk about home court advantage, do you feel it's the same as it used to be? It has that same impact?
I do think it's still hugely important, Kevin. It's less important when there's a team that has been together for a long time and has proven that they can take their wares on the road and come home with a victory. But it absolutely gives you a level of comfort as a player to get into your routine, to be at a place that seems familiar. Something deep down psychologically helps every member of that team being at home.
Now, here's Lowry. Back to Siakam. Over Harkless. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Harkless has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
There's so little can be done to stop that. Leonard with the jets to screen down the lane, then tops it off with the thunder finish.
Here's Lowry. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beverly. Zubac is checked in for the Clippers.
Clippers substitution. Ivica Zubac.
Siakam kicks to Gasol. Outside Lowry. Back to Gasol. Just 3 to shoot. Fades back. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
So polished offensively. Gasol, good at making an impact on that end of the floor.
And it's Paul George with the finish.
Paul George dunk contest? He's maybe a little older, but I love to see him get up.
Beverly against Lowry. Pass to Siakam. The shot, no good. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Pass to Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Anunoby, good.
And what an assured player. Anunoby believes in his ability to shoot the ball off the catch.
Outside, George. And that one is off. Some solid defense from Gasol. Feeds it to Lowry. Toronto working the ball around now. Here's Anunoby. He's covered by Leonard. The pass to Van Vliet. The 3 ball. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
Not a way to get out of a funk. He needs to be looking for good, solid, more efficient shots. Not the wild one he took there.
Gasol with the steal. Lowry from outside. It's hauled in by Zubac. Zubac has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Outside, George. George double teamed to the paint. And the dunk by Zubac.
That's the kind of passing you want there. Work the ball around, keep it moving, try to get an assist on every bucket.
outside Lowry. Passes it to Siakam. When people talk about a player's mileage limit, do you think total games is the most accurate assessment in that?
I don't think so, Kevin.
What is it?
It's the amount of minutes that the players play.
Yeah.
I mean, there are plenty of studies out there that teams are digging around on when players reach. And trust me, they got to be lucky, but you're talking 35,000, 40,000 minutes in the league, that the body is just not capable at that point of replicating the things that it's done year in and year out. So forget about the games. Go to total minutes played. That's where you'll find the biggest fall off for some of your favorite players that have amused and entertained you for years.
Interesting.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Well, I know they don't have mobile devices out there for texting, so they might as well talk to one another, Greg.
Not a whole lot going down for him at this point. He just can't buy a break.
George dishes to Leonard. We've got 1:55 left in the fourth quarter. And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession. And the Raptors going out now with a whole new group. The Clippers also changing it up. Patterson, he's checked in for Harkless. Robinson comes in for George. And Walton subbed in for Patrick Beverley. .151 left in the game. Miller surveying the floor. Pass to Boucher. On the wing, Miller. Guarded by Robinson. Shot clock at 6. Boucher passes to Miller. Shot from the wing. It's hauled in by Zubac. LA has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Clippers.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And they've taken control of the season series. This brings them to 2-0 with 1 game left against this squad.
And one of the league's top talents, game in and game out. And doing it here again in this one. A terrific night for Leonard.
It looked like a couple times they might be wearing him down, but not the case. At the offensive end, he was just devastating.
Now, here's Walton. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Zubac. Robinson with it. Over Miller. And the Clippers miss again. He's covered by Leonard. Miller outside. Trying to get something going. It's rebounded by Leonard. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg,